Just tight. Take us through your scrimmage. How do you feel in the scrimmages?
I think I did good. Definitely things to improve on, but that's what fall camp's about. Just got to keep stacking days on days.
What are you looking most for? What are you most curious about concerning the SEC? You've gone through a Big 12 schedule. Now you're about to embark on an SEC schedule.
What am I most curious about?
Curious about.
I mean, I already know it's going to be very, very physical. I know that we're going to have to up our game in every single aspect, which we're doing right now. The pressure's there, but we're all for it.
What do you feel like your biggest area of growth has been from the
Sorry?
biggest area of growth for you from the spring to now?
Yeah, so just knowledge of the game. Obviously, the more you're around it, the more knowledgeable you're going to become naturally. And I think I worked hard in the weight room and just eating to just put more weight on so I can just hang around more with the bigger guys.
How much more comfortable in the system do you feel at this point now compared to last year?
It's night and day. Just a better understanding. It's less thinking and just more reacting for me.
2 weeks in, and you're more day-to-day with Zach Alley rather than the spring where it was just 15 practices. How much of you really relate to his concepts and what he's teaching?
Really good. I think he's a great communicator. I think he's really good at explaining. And I think he's really good at setting guys up for success.
What was the biggest thing for you as far as putting the weight on this offseason?
Just eating, lifting, taking it serious, and having no off days with it. Just being committed to my goal.
What was your favorite thing to eat during the off season?
I mean, when you eat so much, it's really nothing good anymore.
Seriously. Really? Yeah.
Really, it was honestly annoying. It was a grind. I didn't like nothing. I couldn't tell you. Maybe only after practice when I was hungry, or after maybe burger.
Yeah.
Maybe burger.
Did they give you carte blanche? You could eat whatever you wanted?
Or yeah, I could eat anything for the most part. Just had to do it, stuff myself.
Nick talked about last week, just working with the nutrition staff. Nick Anderson talked about just working with the nutrition staff in sports science. How was that during the offseason?
Working with the nutrition staff, it was great. They're definitely here to help us. Definitely for us. They're always on top of us, especially a guy like me who just needed to gain a lot of weight. And they do their part, and I got to do mine.
Coach Venables told us at SEC Media Days that the day before that you stepped on the scale, and I think you were at 261. Where are you at now?
I'm still around there with practice. Obviously, sweat so much, lose a lot. Kind of goes up and down now, but you're still maintaining.
Where have you noticed that gaining all that weight has helped you the most?
Whenever I like to strike an old lineman, maybe they just get pushed back further, and I'll just notice that my weight really impact, and I can just tell by the way I strike and the movement I get up front.
Did you get to keep your first step?
Yes, sir.
People have described Allie as kind of a mini Venables. Did that surprise you a little bit when you first got to know him, or do you see that resemblance in him?
I definitely see the resemblance. Coach V has a very fiery attitude, and Coach Ali, you can see the kind of the imitation in it. So it's definitely there.
BJ, what do you think are some of the chief lessons that you've learned through a year and a half of working with Coach Shea?
So the chief lessons?
Yes.
A lot of lessons. A guy like Coach Shave, one thing about him, he's all about football, but he's gonna pour life into you any single time, or any single time he can, which is one thing. Which is probably the number one thing I like about him, just because it's not all about football all the time. It's about life, and football is also a part of it since that's what we're doing. But he's gonna just grow you in all aspects of your life.
Do you have any individual goals for this season?
Really, I just want to be a guy who's considered a true factor on the team.
How good do you think this defense can be this year?
I think it can be really good. I think we have a lot of returning guys like Ethan Downs, Danny, Billy Bowman. All those great leaders. And they've been doing a great job leading us, and I think we're going to be really, really good. Shocker.
PJ, you're another guy that had a great offseason, kind of growing into your position, so to speak. Talk about that offseason and how much it's going to help you going into this year.
The offseason for me, was all about obviously gaining weight and learning. And now that we're here in fall camp, it's about putting it all together and just going full speed in it.
When you guys bring in a guy like Caden Woolard, who's got the production that he has as a pass rusher, what can you learn from someone like him?
Oh, a lot. He's obviously older than me, and he has a lot to bring to our group, and he's been a great factor and a great addition to our group. And for me, obviously anyone older than me, I like to, take little nuggets from them, and he's been giving me a lot of them.
What's the biggest one that you've taken away from him?
I would say The biggest one. Sorry. I would say just not really him, but just really more so imitating him. Like he's very very physical, and I see that, and that just tells me, oh, I got to be even more physical. You know, little stuff like that.
How ready do you guys feel for that first game? It's right around the corner now.
Yeah, I mean, we feel ready for sure. I mean, obviously game time's not really there. Still kind of in the chopping wood aspect of it since we're in a fall camp, but like we'll be ready.
How rewarding for you was the spring game to kind of have the production that you had coming out of that?
It was good. It was real good for me. Definitely a confidence boost. You know, going into fall camp, I could just use that momentum.
Who on this defense is somebody that we're not talking about, most people aren't talking about, but you think is going to really make an impact?
Probably our Mason Thomas. I think he's one to definitely be on the watch list because he's going to have a season.
Grant always talks about competitive depth, just the edge rushers. How much are you guys pushing each other, and how big is Ethan still being kind of the grandfather of that defense?
Yes, sir. Ethan's definitely a great leader for us and a great person off the field. But our whole group, you know, just great guys, and that's something that Coach Shea really cares about, bringing good guys into our group to help grow the program.
What has Dominic Williams provided to that front four for you guys since he got here?
Oh, physicality. Big, strong, smart, can move. He's the whole package.
Anything else for PJ?
What's it been like going up against these tackles in scrimmages and stuff like that?
It's been good for me because, you know, these guys, you know, they're definitely SEC ready tackles, legit tackles who, you know, give me really good looks. Sorry, and yeah, like they're gonna have a season too.
Who's been the toughest to go against?
Man, all of them really, but I would say guys like Spencer Brown, Jacob Sexton, all of them up front, and they all been just really strong in there and really physical.
You talked about Dominic Williams and the interior defensive lineman. Have they made it easier on you as far as edge rushing? Like, can you put that into words, how the interior defensive lineman made it easier on you?
I mean, anytime, you know, we have movements up front where we have to kind of move as a unit, you know, he's someone who's gonna definitely bring that push that we need to get to that QB. That's probably his biggest thing, strong and just fast and just physical.